Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Russia is a testament to the deep-rooted, time-tested friendship between India and Russia, a bond forged over decades of shared history, mutual respect, and strategic cooperation. Today, the two nations stand united in a world of shifting alliances, yet the roots of their relationship trace back to a much deeper connection, a connection shaped by revolution, war, and cultural exchange. In this video, we take you through the journey of India-Russia ties, from the time of India's freedom fighters to the modern day, where both countries stand side by side as global powers. The Russian Revolution of 1917, which saw the overthrow of the Tsarist autocracy and the rise of socialism, was a watershed moment in world history. Its impact stretched far beyond Russia's borders, reaching the shores of India, where freedom fighters like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Subhash Chandra Bose, and Bhagat Singh found inspiration in the uprising against oppression. For these Indian leaders, the Russian Revolution symbolized the possibility of overthrowing colonial rule. Bal Gangadhar Tilak spoke openly about the Bolshevik spirit, and Bhagat Singh admired Lenin's ideals of socialist governance, even writing a letter to him from prison. Subhash Chandra Bose, too, found common cause with the Soviet Union's anti-colonial stance. These early connections set the stage for the strong bilateral relations that would follow after India's independence. After India gained independence in 1947, its first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, envisioned a socialist model of governance, drawing inspiration from the Soviet Union. Nehru believed that socialism would provide India with the framework to uplift its masses from poverty and build a self-reliant economy. The Soviet model of planned economic development, particularly in industries like steel, coal, and heavy machinery, greatly influenced India's five-year plans. Soviet assistance was crucial in building the foundation of India's industrial and technological prowess. This cooperation extended into other sectors, creating a partnership that would only strengthen in the decades to come. In the 1950s and 60s, as Cold War tensions escalated, India found itself in a precarious position. The United States, which had allied with Pakistan, refused to sell weapons to India. As a result, India turned to the Soviet Union to bolster its defense capabilities, from aircraft like the MiG series to battle tanks, submarines, and helicopters. Soviet military equipment became the backbone of India's defense. This marked the beginning of a strategic defense partnership that continues to this day. Over 60% of India's current military hardware has Russian origins, but the ties between India and Russia were not just limited to politics and defense. The cultural connection between the two nations blossomed in the 1950s and 60s, especially with Indian cinema finding a massive fan base in the Soviet Union. Raj Kapoor became a household name across the USSR, with his films like Awara and Shri 420 striking a chord with the Soviet audience. The themes of poverty, love, and hope in his movies resonated deeply with the Soviet people. This cultural exchange propelled Kapoor to stardom in Russia, cementing the bond between the two nations. The Indo-Soviet relationship reached a critical juncture during the 1971 India-Pakistan War. As India intervened in East Pakistan, the United States, under President Nixon, sided with Pakistan and even sent its nuclear-capable USS Enterprise carrier group towards India. In response, the Soviet Union, under the command of Admiral Vladimir Kruglyakov, deployed its own fleet of nuclear-armed submarines, destroyers, and cruisers from Vladivostok, effectively countering the U.S. threat. This decisive move played a pivotal role in protecting India's interests and showcased the depth of Soviet-Indian defense ties. Beyond government alliances, the people of India and Russia have developed a strong connection over the years. Scores of Russian tourists visit India every year, with Goa being one of their favorite destinations. From practicing yoga to immersing themselves in Indian spirituality, Russians have embraced many aspects of Indian culture. ISKCON has a significant presence in Russia, with thousands of Russians following the teachings of Krishna. Additionally, over 20 Russian institutions teach Indian languages, such as Hindi and Sanskrit, to more than 1,500 Russian students, further deepening cultural ties. in recent years, as Russia faced sanctions from the West, led by the United States. India stood firmly by its longtime ally. From continuing trade to purchasing Russian oil, India has demonstrated that its friendship with Russia is time-tested and resistant to geopolitical pressures. India and Russia's relationship is one that has stood the test of time, weathering wars, political changes, and global challenges. From the days of the Russian Revolution inspiring Indian freedom fighters to today, where both nations stand as major global powers, the India-Russia friendship continues to grow stronger with each passing decade. As Prime Minister Modi's visit to Russia reaffirms, this bond is built on shared values, mutual respect, and a deep understanding that transcends politics.